Dream Team's alright with me. Dream Team's alright. Oh yeah. I'm Roy. I coach Destroy. This is Warnie.
Coach of the Warnie.
Oh yeah. And finally, we've had footy back. It was a bit of a drawn-out process over the first few weeks, but we're through to the end of round one. We really know what our teams are looking like, and bang, we're just amongst it now. Such a good feeling. Now, traditionally, we go around the grounds to start off. So, Warnie,
let's have a look around the grounds. Let's start off with the Warnie. Well,
the dog.
I'm the best out of the three of us. You know, got to be a bit up and about because it's all, it's all a little bit exciting straight up to be inside the top 2,000, somewhere that we'd all probably like to end up at the end of the year.
Well, but thank God he is too. Otherwise, it probably wouldn't have been.
So 1900. That's all right with a 2,050 score. Didn't dodge all the bullets like other people would lead me to believe.
But you must admit, the bulletproof vest you were wearing wasn't too bad.
It wasn't too bad, but I still got some issues and some things that I
Get a
might
tissue.
need to fix.
Get a tissue.
Let's have a look at Calvinator.
Wasn't too bad. What did I have? 1939, and that was the year World War II started. I'll tell you what, World War III's on this week because Calvinator, boom, boom, I am going to be smashing it.
Very
Roy.
good. All right, and finally...
Yeah, I'm wearing the green vest for a couple of reasons.
I didn't even notice.
The main one is because, have you seen how good my picture looks at the top of the page?
That's true.
In the Workwear Hub, bloody green vest.
There it is, Workwear Hub, green vest.
Yeah, so...
Thank you very much to Workwear Hub for their sponsorship of that this year. Absolute sensational.
It looks good.
Do you know what the best thing about you wearing a green vest with them?
I look good in it.
You look good in it, and you're even marketing for them. Have a look at that one.
Where are we? No. I got some ink done.
You got tattoos, Roy?
Yeah, I got it to get my mind off how shit my team was going. Now, I'm going to give you a little rundown.
Oh, here we go.
No, it needs to be said because people going, Roy's the best out of these three. How has he had such a disaster? Well, I'll tell you, I'm not sooking about it because I haven't picked a bad team, so it's far from panic stations. But I'll give you a little reason why. I did not dodge bullets. Okay,
I didn't dodge them either. Keep going.
I'm going to give you a little thing though. You can't match this. Green, Robbo and Beams averaged over 300 between them last year.
Yep.
And they scored 50. So that's how I'm not at par. So I'm not going to sook about it. No. But those three players...
You didn't on the weekend either.
No, I didn't. And I'll tell you what I didn't. I didn't sook, and I'll tell you what I did. I decided, because I was getting so angry at how unbelievable this was, every stuff up seemed to be, I was just hitting it. So I thought, I'm going to turn these negative feelings into positives instead of, really moping around and being a sook. So do you know what I did? First one, right, I'm angry, I'm going to go to the gym.
Good work.
Yep. Went home, watched the next game. Do you know what happened?
Looking at that picture again.
Something shit happened. You know what I did? Went for a run. Watched the next game. Something shit happened. Went to the gym.
Yep.
Then you know what happened?
Yep.
Beams pulled out. So I hit the bottle. I couldn't keep doing it. So no more positives.
How did you pull up the next day?
Yeah, really sorry. That wasn't good. So anyway, I can see a light at the end of the tunnel, and thankfully the tunnel is only this week away. So I'm not being unrealistic. I'm looking to get in the top.
We'll have a look at the team soon and see what you might be able to do with it. So anyway, Roy, but all wasn't bad for you in your fantasy.
No, I'll tell you what, it was not, because ESPN Fantasy just quietly ranked 50th.
Nice work.
Obviously a different team altogether, was it?
Completely different. Everyone I didn't have the balls to pick that I probably should have. Yeah, no, I dodged bullets in that team. I was like Matrix style.
If you haven't signed up to that, you can do that at footytips.com.au. You can add us into your leagues and have a crack against us. You're probably not playing. It won't be too hard to catch up to me at the moment because I struggled a bit in week one.
Don't add Roy in your league.
Well, Roy's too
good. It's just right.
That one. The thing that I liked about it the most was when you have a shit score, you know what you can do?
Yes.
Sub them out over the weekend. So if someone has a crap score at any time over the weekend, you can sub them out and get someone in that's yet to play. So it's got a rolling lockout a bit like that other game. So really interesting.
Do you know what my secret to that one was? The temptation was to go, one of the big guns in the midfield as a lock-in captain.
Yep.
I went two bargains there, Gibbs and Rockcliffe, and I don't reckon many people did it because you could only pick them as mids. But I thought there was such good value there. Yeah, I should have put Toby Green in there as well. Then I would have been going well. wouldn't I?
All right, Roy. Now, what have we got next? We've got the Golden Stubby, which we haven't. The first one for the year. So let's have a look at it. Alrighty, the Golden Stubby. So every Sunday night, that post will go up on our website, and you get to vote there and vote for the person that deserves it. You've got to send your nominations in. We'll send those calls out on Twitter, so make sure you do that. Anthony's been looking after that for us, and that is awesome. The winner this week, there's some very good performances in week one. Gary Ablett was sensational. He came second, I think, in the polling in the end.
He was awesome.
135, and could be a better captain option than the Pig. But we'll hear about the captains later on.
Don't cross into my territory.
Goodsy was very, very good. Brett Goods, he had 91.
Yeah, about 91.
So that amazing. Was one of the better defender scores actually out of my team.
Yes.
I know that for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
And then the winner was the Rising Star nominee for this week, and that is Ollie Wines. So all of us three have him. We're all very happy with him, and he's on our ground. So great work to Ollie Wines there for racking up the first Golden Stubby of the year.
He was awesome.
Now, Roy, you've been chatting to some people on Twitter this week and finding out about how they're going. And who can you tell us about there?
Well,
that's not your wife. That's not my wife.
DT Talk's own now.
Yeah, I know.
Ashley Adams.
Adams.
Zoo Weekly cover girl. She has been all over Dream Team this pre-season, and she thought she'd give us a little update.
Yep.
All right, let's see what Ashley's got to say.
Hi guys, I am Zoo Weekly cover girl Ashley Adams here for DreamTeamTalk.com. I'm part of the Fantasy All-Stars League this year. I scored 1909 in round one. Not overly happy with it, but considering I didn't actually get a chance to look at the teams and modify anything of mine before the final lockout, I think I did okay. I had some good rookies. Warnie was really good, obviously Goods, I was really happy with, Wines, all pretty good. Some of my big names I was a bit disappointed with. I'm hoping, not sure if I'm going to keep Goddard around. Obviously Mitch Robinson getting KO'd didn't do me any favours, but I'm going to keep him in my team because that's hopefully not going to happen again. I haven't really decided what I'm going to do with the team this week, but I will keep an eye on the teams. I think I'm probably the only person that didn't have Ablett in my team, but regardless, I still think I did okay, so hopefully I can make some room for him if his price hasn't gone up too much. Anyway, good luck, and I will see you all around DreamTeamTalk.com. Bye-bye.
Yeah, well, great start by Ashley. She's missed first lockout and she's beaten me, so hats off to her, well done. So we'll be able to look forward to some more updates throughout the year, as hopefully I pass Ashley at some stage throughout the season.
She's in our All-Stars League, and if you've already noticed on Dream Team, you can see your matchups.
Yes, I have noticed that.
First few weeks. So we start in round 3, so we still have this week before the games start, and then that's when...
Where I am now going head-to-head with my nemesis.
Are you?
Yes.
Excellent.
Round one.
First game.
Bring it.
All right.
Bring it.
Okay, kicking off the teams here. I've got the Saints versus Richmond. It's not a great way for me to start this round 2 because I don't have many players. The ins and outs of any interest, Montagna and Fisher are coming back for the Saints. No one interesting is going out, and for Richmond it's even less interesting. No one you want to know coming in or out.
No, I've lost him.
No.
I think he's going to be a little bit away, actually.
Which is good.
Yeah.
He was very solid.
Exactly.
He was solid in the
Perfect price.
twos. He was solid in the twos, so he's getting it done. But yeah.
Oh, good.
For Sydney, this is an interesting one. Bird's back in.
Birdie,
Yeah, probably to tag Gaz, you would think.
Yep.
I don't know. They'll probably put a lot of players on Ablett throughout.
Probably going to have to,
because you'd have to at the same time actually. So Rampy's out, rookie, and Armstrong. There's a fair bit of buzz about him in the pre-season. His form off halfback. Well, what we originally thought. Yeah. GC Gold Coast.
Oh yeah, the GCs.
No one interesting in, but same old problems. If anyone.
The first year I've gone without him, I think, in my whole...
Do you know what I'm talking about? Gregory Broughton.
Oh!
He's out. He's out, is he? he's knocked up a 40 for his owners, and now he's out
With a
car.
Moo, alright. Oh my god.
Get rid of him. He's not a cash cow, that's for sure.
We all had him at the start, like, oh, how exciting, he's going to a new team.
Midfield time.
Same old shit story from Broughton, isn't it?
Cash foul Broughton. Western Bulldogs, no change. They're pretty happy down at the kennel.
Good start by them.
Yeah, they had some players that will, you look at their scores, people will get excited and jump on them, like Higgins.
Oh,
The big
well,
fella knocked
I
up a
was
big
considering
ton. Yeah, well,
No good.
get him in, mate. No,
Just on the Bulldogs, they have the most dangerous tagger in the competition.
Oh, yeah.
Ahead of Picken and Rains, lower.
Yeah.
He's going to be
Oh,
a beast.
Might get a couple of numbers along the way too.
Oh, he's got lean nervous, dog. He's with your pirate hat on.
Really?
Yeah.
Freo, Broughton. Oh, Broughton. He's on my mind. He always has been. That's what happens when you use 4 trades on him in 2 years. Bloody Ballantyne.
Yeah.
Suspended, as he should be.
That Crozier's in, and he's a bit of a value pick. Maybe he could be an option there to think about. In a
Sorry
couple
for
weeks'
cutting
time.
on my team. I hope you pick up this Crozier.
Oh, okay. All right.
Interesting.
Play on.
I've got Port and GWS now. For Port, Colehorn.
Colhoun.
Yeah.
Colehorn is not named. Everyone was saying he is.
They
He's
were.
named as an emergency. That doesn't count as being
No.
named, Roy.
Can I just cut in on you
Cut
like
in.
Bulldog did on me?
Permission granted.
He was amazing in the reserve.
He was.
Just
Good numbers.
ball magnet.
So hopefully
That's all.
he's a few weeks off and then we can sort of fix that. Kane Mitchell also held his spot for those people. But
Will he get the vest again?
well, there's a very good chance he's going to get the World Cup vest again, but I would be making sure that he's on your pine just in case. You never know with that.
Yeah.
And for GWS, nothing really of interest there.
Toby Green playing?
Toby Green is playing.
Yes!
Hold him. Hold on to him, Roy.
Oh, I have to.
Adelaide, Brisbane, Crouch.
Crouchy.
Crouch is in
Big
Adelaide.
numbers too, in
Which is
massive.
Snaffle.
He's
Yeah.
been smashing it, so keep an eye on him. Probably wouldn't jump on him though straight away, would you? Now he's a game behind all the other rookies, so maybe hold off. Don't just jump on him because he's there.
If you had Rampy
If you had a
and you had all the
If you had someone who's
the
not
others,
playing,
yeah.
you get that
Yeah, the
extra
others.
week. You might even get. So you could even have, if old mate Mitchell, for example, if
Yeah.
he isn't sub, but might be sub in week 3, still might go up a bit in value. So you might make 30 grand out of him too.
Yep.
But no, yes,
To get
Calvin, you're right.
He's
Good
in
point.
now, Brisbane. Are you ready?
Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome! Billy Long is out.
Yes, thank God.
Matthew Lewinburger!
Yeah, my team is
The
going to
bird.
get back on track with
Won't
this.
it?
Bird,
The bird
being destroyed back.
is back. Now, for people who are like me and Dog, who have Dangerfield.
Ooh.
Dun, 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 dun. Andrew Rains has been named. He will go to Dangerfield. 100% chance he will. However, Danger still got 108 on him last time that he tagged him, so it's not all bad news. But if Rains is watching this, I've got a little message. I've got a little message for him. Did you know, Mr. Rains, that Scott Thompson has averaged 124 in his last 3 against Brisbane?
Wow.
Tag him, all right.
Well, the thing is, as owners, obviously you guys are going to show greater concern for such a thing.
Oh, look at you licking your lips, you bastard.
No, do you know why I'm not?
Why?
Because, did you see what happened last week?
When what?
Did you see what the Dogs did against the Lions?
Oh, yes.
Bloody field day.
They did, Roy. Good point.
Field day. I wouldn't worry about it too much.
I'm not
if I
too
was you.
concerned. In the last game I got here, Essendon and Melbourne, Essendon no change, and the good news for people who sat Turlich on your bench, he is named and he will play his first game this week. No.
We've all got him too, don't we? Sitting on the pine.
Yeah,
Defender.
One of the
We're
few
not
good things
stupid.
that-
We're
Well,
not
it's
stupid.
questionable with me at this stage. However, that was one good thing I did.
All right, time to look at the Sunday games. Remember, these ones are extended squads, so we'll go through them nice and quickly. Geelong have named a heap of guys in. Joel Corey and James Kelly are probably the 2 guys that are a fair chance to play with Rivers and Murdoch both out, injured.
Murdoch.
So our boy Jacko Thurlow has made the extended bench there. So
Get amongst it, big fella.
Good kid. If you can hold off a few weeks, it'll be good. So then you can,
good point. Hold off, Jack.
just look after yourself, mate. For North Melbourne, Wright's out with a knee. No one to have him. The only real thing there to think about is Marjack Dawes on the extended bench. I reckon he's going to be named there every week for a lot of weeks to start with. He's not going to slide in. I don't think. Goldie was good.
Goldie was really good, and our Curry is sitting on a lot of benches in that fourth spot. Goldstein, he did enough to stay there for a while. Far out, he was good, wasn't he? He was back to 2 years ago.
Yeah,
it looked nothing like him at the end of last year.
Would have been a great pick
as
well. So
very undervalued.
That's a good one there. All right, in the game in the middle game of the day, which is actually the Meathead. That's the match day game. So we've all been playing that match day game all the way through. So that's on for that game. So Collingwood and Carlton. You can get all set up for. You can do it now, so get your team. We've got a massive league, and you can win a $50 Meathead voucher.
It would be the biggest league in Australia.
I think it would be.
It would actually be the biggest league in the world.
I think we've actually got.
It is easily the biggest league in the world.
12% of people playing match day are in our league.
Yep.
That's a pretty big number.
It's a world record.
Anyway, so that's the game. The things there to look at is for Collingwood, they haven't named anyone out. Heath Shaw's back in after his illness, so there's no beams, which is an issue for you, Destroy.
And Calvin.
Seedsman.
Sorry for not knowing both of your teams.
Sorry, I only heard Roy talking about beams.
Oh, haven't I? I forgot I had him
there at a suburb one.
Oh no, I don't swear.
And for Carlton, they've lost a few there. Betts and Hansen are both out, sort of injured. Betts with a jaw and Hansen with an appendix, and basically probably should have been dropped as well. He was pretty average, wasn't he, Roy?
Well, Hansen, he actually, when he runs like that at a pack, a couple of them landed in his hands this time. So to his credit, he's improving. However, he can't kick straight. I'm glad he's out.
Joseph has been dropped, but the big one there is Sam Rowe is in, and he should be in the actual
good
22,
news.
you think.
Good
Great
news story.
Great news story. So he's there.
And DPP value, if he can play his two.
Yep, we can see something happening there, I reckon.
Can I just say something there as well? If we get a couple of weeks down the track and he's doing really well, we just piss off Curry and bring him in for that.
Or Blickaz. He could be. I can't.
He could make it $2. He could make it $2.
He could.
Anyway,
do you fit it?
And final game of the round there is West Coast and the Hawks. So the big ones there for West Coast is Lacra's out with his arm, and Old Mackenzie with a hamstring. Lacra, big loss. Very easy sideways trade to go to Josh Kennedy if you haven't done that. Lysett has been omitted. I know quite a few people had him on the bench. For the Hawks, they haven't got any outs yet, but Hodgie is apparently back after a good game in the VFL last week.
That's good news.
Simpkin and Spanger.
Can I just give you something
on the extended bench?
Buddy Franklin, Hawthorn, while we're talking about him, has not scored 100 in a career 11 games at Patterson's. The silence is your shock. I can feel it. And last year he had a 76 and a 76 on the West Coast. I tell you what, I didn't start with him, and I know I've seen your team, so I log into him every week and check him out.
Yeah, you would.
You guys haven't started with him either. I think this could end up being a really good call.
Definitely. He was all over the shop on Monday.
Yep.
He looked good in patches.
Yep.
And then he just made mistakes.
He's a gun, and he's going to be a top scoring forward, and you need to have him by the end of the year.
Definitely.
But, geez, to not score 100 points at Patterson's, and I've got another one for you. Did you know he's never scored 100 at Amy in 12 games?
Wow, when do they play there?
I don't know. I'm not a walking bloody fixture, am I? No. But yeah, just amazing. So guys who've got Buddy, cross your fingers, prove me wrong. I got a lot of tweets last week. Oh, Vance, because I said Buddy was going to be terrible. Back at you, knobbers.
Maybe that could be a good way to use one of your trades this week if you really.
Oh, that's stupid.
You couldn't.
That's stupid. He could still have 140.
He could still have
140. He's still Buddy. He could still kick a bag and dominate. But
we trust your stats, Calvin.
Okay, trade him.
Don't trade.
All right, this week then, boys, we've got the team. So what things are we now looking at? Roy, there's a couple there. You've definitely going to use your two trades.
Yeah, I definitely will. I'll go longer out for Lundberger.
Yep.
And I need to find someone for Beams. So, like, some players in my team that people have been tweeting me saying, what are you going to do with, like, you know, underperformers? Zorko, Green. People are even putting Whitfield in a underperforming category.
Yep.
No, even if I had the trades, I wouldn't be getting rid of those three. Especially Whitfield. People have been way too harsh on him. Imagine your first game versus Sydney Swans.
Hardest team to score.
Yeah, exactly. So he's going to get to play, you know, his Melbournes and things like that. So even if I had trades, I wouldn't be worrying about those guys. I'm getting Longer out, Lundberger in. I am shopping around for Beams at this stage. Watson looks like my go-to there.
Got a good game this week.
Yeah,
I'm all about a good introduction to my team.
Right. I'm in the basically exact same boat. So I went Zach Smith, who scored the same as Longer. So I'll be going Zach Smith back into Lundberger, which we all wanted to do at the start. So it was a pretty shit patch-up job, but Lundberger will come in, and I'm in the same boat. I'm shopping around for Beams, and you're right. Watson's probably at the top of the list. He had a 128 last time he played Melbourne, and Melbourne were pretty terrible last week. You'd think he's got to be good for around that number again. So
you know,
it's a tough little thing.
Correct me if I'm wrong, you'll have a bit of cash out of that as well then, won't you?
It will have not just a little bit, we'll have basically a shit pile of cash.
Do you know a random one that I was looking at? Michael Barlow.
Oh yeah, he's
ready to go. He's back. Like, it would take you that 12 months to get your confidence back after that leg.
Yep.
Just don't bring up NC.
I'm about to put a full stop on your sentence, Roy. About to put a full stop on your sentence. He plays lower this week. Lower will surely go to Barlow.
What?
He has to.
No, he won't.
Who's he going to go to?
They rate Mundy. Everyone rates Mundy.
He was good too, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's really good.
No, you'll go to both. You'll probably do both.
Okay.
Calvin loves a bit of lower action.
Your trades, Doug?
Well, I don't have to
just say that.
I don't have to do anything, but...
hello, Mr. Good Team.
Look at him.
Hello, Mr. Bullet Dodger.
But, I don't know, I'm in two minds about embracing the 2 trades per week stuff and just thinking about some things. So, I had some underperformers, and last year it would have been a stupid thing to get rid of my Dangerfield and my Robbo. Now, don't go all silly because you shouldn't be trading them, but there's some things that I'm thinking about because, well, Robbo, it is going to only affect one of his price changes, but he will drop a bit, and so I could get him back later for a little bit cheaper for maybe a guy that is going to increase in value. So it might be whether I jump on Calvin's right, for example,
you dare,
and jinx him, or I didn't get Josh Kennedy. Now that's probably a silly one because I'm getting rid of a keeper for.
And you're getting rid of someone that'll have 120 this week for someone.
And that's the other thing that he could come out and smash it and it'll be fine, but he will lose value. I think it's guaranteed to lose value.
And I am 100% with you on this because I have him as well. It's another one people have been asking about. Robbo, he plays Collingwood. It's one of his favourite teams to play.
It is his
He's coming off a couple of really big games against them.
Yep.
He looked awful in that first quarter.
Yeah.
He came into the game right up until that point he got knocked out. Yeah, he did. So I think, well, I don't have the choice, so it's easy for me, but I'm backing him in, I think.
Yeah. I don't think you cannot sideways trade a premium at this point based on one score when they can come out and whack a 140 in your face next week. You just can't do it. Like, Dangerfield sucked. Yes, he's going to get tagged by Reigns, but he plays Brisbane. He could have 140.
Oh, without
There's
it.
no
and
reason why
that was my other thought as well, because I've got Dangerfield.
Yeah.
And so, you know, like I could do something with those 2 trades and look to get in a Watson because he's playing Melbourne this week with my Dangerfield and things like that. So
there's going to be weeks like this throughout the year too where your team is, like, looking at you compared to me, you're sitting pretty at the moment. You've got that potential for luxury trades. You've got luxury trades this week. So I don't blame you for now thinking about those.
So for the next 24 hours, I'll rack my brain over that, I reckon, and see. Might even do some numbers and think, like, now, seriously, will I benefit from that?
Yeah, and this is the thing. I think we need to make a rule that obviously us three, especially between us, but people on
Might
Twitter
follow,
and talking to
yeah.
us and that, do not come for sympathy when you do these
Yeah.
chases, because if you don't back inside Dangerfield and you chase Watson,
Yeah.
no sympathy when, I could have scored
I could have.
2,500, but I only scored this
And if
because
they want sympathy, Roy, where is
you
it?
can look in the dictionary between shit and syphilis.
You
That
will.
is where you'll find sympathy.
And the other thing is and guys who chase rookies. Okay, so Jack Viney, he's dominated Port last week. He only played Port. Whitfield played Sydney. So a lot of people going, I'm going Whitfield to Viney. I probably wouldn't be doing that at this point. You just need to wait and see. We've had 1 week of scores.
Exactly.
Don't
Not
jump
much
the gun.
data.
No.
And that's the other part
Don't
of
jump the gun.
jumping out of those. All right, what's next, boys?
I don't know.
Right, where are we up to?
Time to... Arr!
Alright. Ablett versus Swan. Let's cut all the rubbish. It's Ablett
Thank
versus
you.
Swan.
Thank you.
Let's go straight down the barrel. Let's talk about Gary Ablett.
Go.
Plays his favourite team out of every bloody team that he plays ever in his whole life, and he's lived a fair while, and Sydney Swans. Last year he had 152 on them.
Wow.
Right? And he only played it once, but in 2011, remember that time we all jumped on him as captain and he got injured for 23 and it was my fault?
Yes.
It was.
Remember
It
that?
was your fault.
Oh, shit,
You
I
heard
heard that. I still hear about that. Anyway, so Gary Ablett he averages if you take away that injured score, he actually averages about 150 on him in his last 3. Smashes them to bits. Some of those scores, though, where he has dominated was back when he was a cap. So realistically, you've only got one bit of data, which is that 152. Here's the thing that worries me. He plays at the SCG,
And I listened to you.
which is a hard ground to score on, and he hasn't been at that ground for 8 years.
Wow.
You said that on that Footy Rhino podcast.
And I wouldn't
geez,
lie.
you sounded good on that. Have a listen to it. But 2005.
2005.
That is a long
was
time
the
ago.
last
Okay.
one. So all these big scores he's had on Sydney, he's done it at ANZ, he's done it at Cardinia, and that 152 he did at Metricon, right? Which Gary has an unbelievable record
Yeah.
there. He's got to get Bird, he's got to get maybe a bit of Ryan O'Keefe, and
McGlynn
he'll
as
also
well,
get
they named
McGlynn,
up, yeah.
right? I am just worried about it. I still think, based on his record, it's going to be huge. He still might have a big score, but there's such a big chance. Here's one for you. In the last 25 games that Gary's played, he's had 4 that have been under 100.
Mm-hmm.
Dane Swan, 1. Right? So, and Swan actually goes beyond that 25 mark. So just, to me, Swan is a safer bet this week. He plays Carlton. He hasn't had a wicked record against them, but out of his last 14 games, he's had 13 over 100. That's huge. That's like up to 90.
100 still remains the magic number,
It
doesn't it,
is,
for a
yeah.
captain?
Like,
You
yeah.
can sleep if your captain gets
Look,
100.
and last year he had 105 and 109 on them. Okay, not great, but they're still solid numbers. Like, the best thing I like about Swanee, last year he averaged 133 at the MCG. He averages 157 in his last 3 games last year, and last week he took 10 marks. He
That was
floats.
big, yeah.
If he hasn't touched the ball, he will slut it up.
He goes half
And
back.
he did slut.
Yep.
In the
Concern, carrots. Will Mick Moldhouse send carrots
This is the
to
interesting
Swan?
thing.
Pendles?
because he
Yeah.
knows.
Yeah,
Which one will he go to?
that it's going
Who
to
would
be
it be?
an amazing thing, isn't it? Who all those years did he think was the most influential and
Or
important?
does he just
Pendles,
go?
Pendles, it's got to be.
It has to be. Pendles
Ken was
was
awesome last week.
It
Yeah.
was awesome last week. The pig slutted it. Perfect work. Perfect work, pig. Talk about him later. Anyway,
So your top 5, Calvin?
the top 5 has to be Dane Swan at number top for the top for all those reasons. Gary Ablett takes number 2. Joe Watson, of course, against Melbourne, 128 last week. Sam Mitchell loves playing at Patterson's Playground, averages 123 in his last 3 there. And Joel Selwood, especially after Swanee and Pendles carved up north last week, I think Joel Selwood, he actually got off to a pretty good start last week, Joel. I reckon he'll have a good one too.
He
So
was
there's my top
amazing.
5.
That was a captain's game.
It was
He
a captain's
just,
He stepped up
and
when they needed it too.
Captain's game equals DT score.
So let's just figure out around the table. Dog, based on what I've said, who are you on?
Yep.
Roy?
Hit him up.
Cowan?
What though? And what just defies all logic
He's
with
a-
that? Why does he? Sydney. No one scores against Sydney. Why does he?
I'll tell you something else, Roy. It's a little sneaky one here. I haven't shared this with you.
Oh.
I haven't ever written it down in my notes.
Oh, hello.
Woke up this morning, checked the weather.
Oh, did you?
I did.
You've been stressing about this call.
Oh, big time. I rang all of you guys about this. Weather conditions in Sydney, wet, sloppy.
Good for pigs.
Do you know
Yeah, no, it's not good. Not in Sydney. Albert,
Albert's not a pig, though.
So is this ground? Is it going to sap his scoring ability?
I believe it will, Roy.
Kryptonite.
I believe it will, and I can look stupid next week when we sit here, but I think it will. But I'm
More
still
stupid than you do with
I'm wearing a polo and a pig in my hand, dog. Anyway, Swanee.
How old are you? Honestly, who would have thought about that?
Swanee MCG. Beautiful conditions on the day. I've already checked it. He's going to be fine. He will get 10 marks, and he only had 1 tackle last week.
Lift your game, kid.
Done, Swanee.
Oh god. All right, we love this time of year because Twitter. We're all over it because it's such a good way to communicate with everyone that's facing the same issues we are. Warnie DT, Roy DT, Calvinator DT.
Calvin DT.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, you're a prick. No one don't have any followers. And this guy who's got the account Calvinator DT, he's got like half a
It just
million.
went up again. Sorry, but we've Warnie threw it out there today that hit us up with some questions. So we've picked a handful of them. We try to pick ones that are going to cater for the majority, or interest.
First one in, Calvin, is can Warn Dog please have a new beer? And I think Roy needs one too.
That is a good tweet. See, people like that.
Exactly.
It's just good
Fantastic.
tweeting.
Thanks, mate. All right, here's our first one. This comes from Tom. He says, what do you think about having 4 Port Adelaide players in the back line? Hartlett, Stevenson, Pittard on the ground, and then he's got Heath as an emergency. What do you reckon?
I think it's paid off so far. He's done a bloody good job. Did I get you beer?
Thanks, mate.
It's paid off so far, mate, and I think it's pretty much stock standard. Your Hamish Hartlett is pretty much your Heppel or your Jack Grimes. Roll with it for as long as you can. Hamish smashed it last week. He gets a few easy games early on too, so as long as it's working for you, keep rolling.
Yeah, I think it's fine, and they're the rookies that you want, I think, at the
Oh,
moment.
without
And so, if Heath somehow, disappears, or one of them disappears, we'll have, hopefully, if you don't have Turlich, you could get him on the way through.
Yeah.
Those sorts of things, so things will pop up. All right, next question comes from Dave, and he wants to know, how will Josh Kennedy, that is the West Coast one, go this season? What average should we be expecting from him?
Did a bit of research on
JJK?
J, what is he?
JJK?
JJK, WJK, I call him. He had 99 last week, and I'll tell you what, he looked bloody good. I don't think we can expect any more of an average than 80-ish, in the low 80s. I don't think you're going to get any more than that, and this is why. 99, great score. He's played 93 games in his career, and he's cracked 107 times. One of them was like a big monster of a 160 or a 170. So that's about 7%. He's only going to get you 100. So grab him, by all means grab him, but don't expect 99s. Expect, on average, your high 70, low 80 mark.
Can I take that and raise you a role change?
You can take me a roll change, raise me a roll change. Because I'll tell you,
What the hell?
you're dead right, because he looked awesome. Yeah. He was pushing up, he was taking grabs up the ground, and we've always said Josh Kennedy, to score 90, needs to kick a bag of 6.
Yeah.
He did it with 2.
Yeah, and that was what really impressed me most. Obviously, like we've spoken about, off my radar this week. However, if he can back it up again, he could push that average to the 85-90 mark if this role change continues.
Now, he's got Hawthorn, so it's a
It'll be a
really
true
good
test.
test. A good test for him. So, yeah. Easy as. Dull.
All right, let's pump the next one here, and this one comes from Supercoach Coach. Should I make 2 trades even if I did well in round 1?
Well, Dog, that's you got to answer that because that's you.
I think this year that we can start doing that with these unlimited trades or these 2 trades per week. I think it leaves us open to do it.
Yeah.
Maybe this week isn't the best week to do it because of the things we've talked about, like it's 1 week of data. But I think the people that are going to do well are going to take the risks. It might backfire. It might not work out. It might just be even par, which is probably a fair chance a lot of the time, because if you're sideways and you're going to a guy that's basically the same.
If you're going to do that, though, and you break even, you've actually got a guy you didn't want to start with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you could do that this week with Dangerfield and Job, but all of a sudden you've got Job and they break even and you're like, oh, okay, but now I've got Job, but I don't really want him. I want a Danger. So
Get him
you've got
back
to
next week then.
take that into... But then you got a couple of injuries.
And that's the worry. That's always my thought with this. Yeah.
So, just listen.
At this stage, patience isn't important. It's not part of the game yet. These are free trades these first, even 3 weeks, really, aren't they?
Yeah, have fun with them. All right. Next question comes from Sam. Love your work, boys.
Thanks,
That's
mate.
always nice.
Thank
Your
you.
tweets will come on if you talk us up a bit as well. That's always the way. Who would you trade Beans to? This is one for Roy. Watson or Cochin?
I've got him too, Noah, remember?
or save some money going to Mitchell or Selwood. All right.
Okay, Mitchell's a great, if you want that initial hit, and if, like you said, that made you some cash, well, that's pretty good. I spoke earlier, I said if you want to go a big downgrade to make 100,000 to fix something else, I think Barlow's a really good option. His numbers against his next 4 teams are really solid. I think he can push a 105 average for the year. So I think he's a great pick. He may even go a little bit above that. Like I said, though, Watson at this stage is my sure thing. I think he's basically reached that elite bracket of untaggable.
Yeah.
So he's your walk-up 100. I purposely set up my team with Ablett, Swan and Beams as just ones you don't have to worry about, walk-up 100s. Your next best is Watson. So you might as well go there, I think.
Yep. All right, next question. Let's make it happen. This is from Nathan. He wants to know, Whitfield or Kane Mitchell to go down to Viney or wait another week? Now, Calvin, you've spoken about this a little bit. What do you think?
Wait another week. You just don't go jumping on those guys at this point. Next week, Viney might have like 40 points this week against Essendon. Everyone's like, oh shit, why did I do that? Whitfield comes out and has an 80 or a 90. So it's only 1 week of data. Be patient. Do not jump on your rookies and don't go all over the place on them just yet. That's next week.
Can I just give you a stat about Whitfield too?
I love a stat about him.
Highly critical, people being of him, because obviously people get a bit excited because he costs so much more and there's a lot of hype about him. Mm-hmm. Really struggled in that first half, and who wouldn't versus the reigning premiers? Okay, so he's had about 7 points in the first half. He's come home with a 38 or so in the second half. So you know what? That's 80. That's 80 versus
on a normal week, right?
Versus a lesser team. So give the kid a chance, I reckon.
Agree.
I agree too. All right, whacking into this one here. This is from Jonathan. Have got an approach consisting of all premium forward, defensive, and ruck lineup, and he's gone with Ablett and all rookies in the midfield. Should I sideways trade? Interesting strategy.
I don't mind it.
Well, I bet he's beating me.
Things that are good about it is
I'll
that
show you his score.
there's going all premiums in the forward line is a great option because there aren't the rookies there or the many of them.
Agree.
Yeah.
However, the back line, that's where we're finding a bit of value.
That is very true.
So that's an important thing. So maybe if you want to stick with that strategy, maybe get rid of a couple of your backline premiums. Get jump on those rookies like those Port boys, or definitely Goods if you don't have him.
Yes.
Get those guys happening, and then in the midfield, bump in a couple of premiums because they're the guys that are going to get you that 110 plus every week.
At some point, like he's going to make his money off the midfield. Obviously, that's his goal. But at some point throughout the year, midfield rookies are going to dry up, and if you're loaded with premiums, with the amount of trades that we've got, you can go up and down. So
I like the interest.
I love it. I love
to
it.
see where that ends up. That could be pumping out some big scores late in the season, but you're probably going to take a bit too much of a hit now. That would be a good team to win a lot of league games, I reckon, late. And
it'll come home like a steam train.
If you do that. But the only problem is that you probably are missing out on some of the better money makers by going that strategy.
Yeah.
Right, good
but
question.
Probably a couple of sideways trades and you'll be rocking.
Yeah,
do it.
Alrighty, and last question here comes from Fantasy Footy Club. They want to know, can you confirm or deny that Warnie DT is on some sort of peptides?
I've signed a deal not to talk about this.
Well, I've been interviewed by Hutchie today.
Oh, yes?
Yeah.
And?
I said he wasn't on peptides, just dickhead pills.
I've naturally been able to make this team as good as what it can be. With the help of Dr. Dank, so it's all good. So the Warn Dogs are
with the help of Dr. Dream Team.
And a very handy
Dr. Dream Team.
And a very handy bulletproof vest.
Okay, I'm off to a shocker, but Dr. Dream Team is having a mega clanger.
Barry Crocker. That's terrible. Not very good at all. Anyway, we'll leave Dr. Dream Team off doing his own thing because that seems to be what he's doing on Friday nights when lockout rolls around.
They'll strip him of his PhD.
Yeah, what? 4 donuts on his ground this week, I think. I didn't look at it hardcore.
I didn't know that. No, why the hell has he even got a job called
PhD, mate?
Don't know.
Got nothing nice.
We can't even get a free beer.
Lord.
Alrighty. That just about wraps up our episode. We've got a few things just to tidy up here.
So he copied Albert Lord. He copied the whole concept of Albert Lord, and now he's doing this.
Yeah, he's not very good, Calvin.
10-9-0-7-6.
Alright, so we did mention Workwear Hub are our fantastic sponsors. They obviously sponsor our green vest that Roy looks smashing in at the start of the show, and there's a picture of him now.
I know, and I've got a horrible feeling that I could be wearing it the next week or so, so once again, I'm glad that...
It's a good picture. Yeah.
Anyway, they've got some competitions for us week to week, which is great. So
get on.
This week we'll hear from... Christy here in a sec, and she'll tell us all about the first competition that we do have from them.
Hi, it's Christy here from the Workwear Hub. We want to hear your best pun from your Dream Team selection, good or bad. For example, those that started with Jack Watts and took his pathetic 20 points could say, "What was I thinking?" So get your thinking caps on and tweet at DT Talk and at Workwear Hub with your pun using the hashtag DTPunComp. The best entry judged by the Workwear Hub DT Talk panel will receive a $100 Bisley voucher to spend online at Workwear Hub. Entries close 6 p.m. Monday Eastern Standard Time. So fire up and get tweeting.
Alrighty, so there is Christy telling us all about that sort of stuff there. Roy, you've got a little bit excited with that.
I just wanted to say... thanks to Hairybeard for that photo.
Oh yeah, those photos are fantastic. So all the stuff on our site. Anyway, let's digress from that, Roy, because we've got to talk about this competition. So what you just need to do is basically get yourselves going. This is a tweet competition, so you need to be on Twitter at DT Talk and at Workwear Hub. You need to give us your best DT puns. So the things like Christy said there, what was I thinking, is a fantastic one. So something about your team and your selection this year could be good or bad. Like
I just came up with one.
What?
Geez, it's cold. No, hang on. Geez, outside the weather isn't very good. It's going to be hard to get a coal horn.
I've got one.
You do better than this. Oh, that was on the spot.
That was.
Yeah, I've got one on the spot too.
Go.
I was Toby green with envy this week because you guys had a good team.
Not bad.
That's a very good one.
That's bloody winning, just quietly.
Tweet those. And you might win the $100 Bisley voucher.
Send it to me now.
Get on that. But send that in. It'll go all weekend. So on Monday night we'll close the entries. So tweet those through to us and Workwear Hub. We'll go through those. Make sure the hashtag's on there. So all that information is sitting there right now that you can see. Make sure that all happens. And yeah, we'll be very good.
Why don't you come up with one then on the top of your head?
That's a good point.
Come on.
My back line is very goods.
Oh, that's terrible.
He's done it.
He's winning.
Well, I'm going to judge the answers, so that is winning. All right, so there it is. All right, and just a little bit of a thanks to a few of our sponsors this year. It's been great. Workwear Hub, obviously, with the green vests, has been fantastic. Meathead, who are sponsoring our match day league, which is great. So the $50 voucher every week, and there might be a few surprises as we go through with them. And we also have gymandfitness.com.au. They are on board. You can get a bit of a discount there with them if you put DT Talk on your checkout.
That's pretty cool.
DT Talk will get you a 10% discount, I think it is. So that's a little bit of a thing. And if you do look at the photos that the old Hairy Beard did take, you can see that Roy has been purchasing a few things from gymandfitness.com.au.
Yes, I will start to add something new to my purchases.
What?
Recovery powder or something, because I was very sore after my new strategy of coping, my new coping strategy.
All right, well, thank you very much for watching, guys. So good luck this week. Anything to leave us with, Roy?
No, just that I'm just really hoping to bounce back. I've tried to be up and about. Please be a bit more supportive than the abusive tweets I've been
Just
getting.
before you go, I've got something I think you should do. Do you want to guess who will have the vest this week?
I've lost all confidence.
Really?
Yeah.
It's because he looks good in it.
No, I'm not my usual arrogant self at the moment. I need to get the boys back on the track, and they need to start working a little bit harder.
And you know where it starts?
I can rely on the pig.
With the pig.
I can rely on the pig.
All right, good luck this week, team. See ya.